As we talked about at the beginning of the program, a massive manhunt is underway for a suspect responsible for a mass shooting in Lewiston, Maine last night. At least 18 people are dead so far. 3 are in critical condition. The person identified as the person of interest, and why don't they just call him a suspect? When did we go to this person of interest thing? Anyhow, 40-year-old Robert Card from Bowdoin, Maine. He was a sergeant first class in the military as a petroleum supply specialist in the Army Reserve. He's facing 8 counts of murder so far because only 8 of the victims had been identified as of midday. Authorities still working to identify the others and notify their families. As soon as those 10 are identified, of course, it'll be 18 counts of murder, and we hope and pray the 3 in critical condition can pull through. 13 others, like I said, injured. Auburn Communications Center received a 911 call just before 7 o'clock Eastern time last night of a man opening fire at a recreation center bowling alley called Just in Time in Lewiston. A little over 10 minutes later, multiple 911 calls were made about an active shooter at the Shmengi Bar and Grill in Lewiston. Authorities have informed citizens to consider the suspect armed and dangerous. They're all sheltering in place. That's the order that's been put forth until further notice. Nobody knows where he is. The towns of Lisbon, Bowdoin, and Lewiston all locked down. 7 of those killed were found at the bowling alley. 1 woman, 6 men. Another 8 victims were found at the bar and grill. 7 men outside. 7 men inside, I should say. 1 more outside. 3 others died and have been taken to local hospitals. It's just a horrible, tragic scene unfolding. We'll have the updates and let you know if that manhunt comes to an end. In other news, Capitol Police have filed a misdemeanor criminal charge against Democrat Representative Jamal Bowman for pulling the fire alarm last month. You remember that. He was caught on camera pulling the fire alarm in the Cannon House office building on September 30th while a government shutdown was being hotly debated. It was up for grabs. He stalled the whole process. Bowman and his colleagues at the time attempted to explain away the incident by claiming that he was just confused and thought it would open the locked door, despite the fact that that door led to the outside, and in his hand was a sign saying it was an emergency exit only. Capitol Police now say the investigation has led them to believe that Bowman, quote, willfully or knowingly gave a false fire alarm within the District of Columbia and refrained from alerting the Capitol Police that it was a false alarm, despite having many opportunities to do so. An affidavit for an arrest warrant has been presented to the Attorney General. Bowman was ordered to appear before a D.C. court this morning. He pled not guilty. The charge would carry a maximum penalty of 6 months in jail. Of course, that'll never happen because Democrats are never held accountable. Oh, and by the way, one more thing. He's a former high school principal. I thought it would open the door. Really? Is that what you had said to one of your high school kids if they had pulled the fire alarm in the high school you worked in? Right, please. All right, coming up after the break. Is it too early to start talking about elections? Not if you want to win it. Hunter Nation founder and CEO Keith Mark will join me next to explain why they're going after a specific demographic out there and how he thinks it can swing an election, and maybe it just did. I'll be right back.